Hello, Quilting Sisters. Today is March 24th, 2020, and I think it's Tuesday. I don't know anymore. It's hard to keep track of the days. So, I just checking in with you, seeing how we're doing today. I want to know if anybody wanted to respond about the why we don't get things done. You can now list pandemic on there if you want. And just seeing if you had come up with a pattern for your leaders and enders. So I had a couple I wanted to show you. I talked about this before, but this is Bonnie Hunter's, and it is on her website, quiltville.com, and you go to the blog and then there's a tab. But this is what she's doing. She starts one in July every year. This one is the shoe fly block, and she makes them for a while and then she starts setting them together, but she does this every year, so look into that. This I talked about. This is American Patchwork and Quilting. This is their sew along for this time. It is called Get Together. I like it. Anyway, that pattern is actually I think $6, or if you have the magazine, it's in the magazine. This is from Bonnie Hunter as well. 4-patch and furrows. I love it. I think I might do this one. I change my mind a lot, but I'm gonna settle down on that one, I think. This one is Random Ohio Star. It would be a great one, especially if you love stars. Just saying. Anyway, this is from Then Came June. I had to think about it because it was facing you and not me. Then Came June. You need to go to her website and check her out. She's a little more into modern, but she has some really cool patterns. Anyway, so there's those. Also, there is a few quilt alongs going along. There was a quarantine along, and it was Elvira, and I think I told you guys about it. Also, Laundry Basket Quilts is doing a mystery quilt for 15 days. I could be wrong. Anyway, you can check that out too. And while we're talking about quilt alongs, the Just Get It Done Quilts lady, Karen Brown, had a suggestion, and actually a few. So I wanted to pass them along with you, and she does have a video, so you could watch it for sure. But I always want to do it, but always something gets in the way. So she calls it a quilt along or a finish along. So that's a catchy tune. I need to do something with that. One, she says, only commit to what you can do. Honestly, be honest. If you can only make a baby quilt of it, only make a baby quilt. If you get halfway through and something major happens, pandemic, baby's born, stuff like that. Anyway, just commit to just doing that. Sorry. I did not get to bed very early. I did a little helping for my neighbor, and I didn't get to bed till 2 a.m. So, okay, the second one, have a budget. Like, if you don't want to spend any money on the quilt along, then you better be pulling from your stash. But kind of know in advance, like, what you really want to spend on that. Number 3, check and make sure your skill level is up to it. If I would have done that on some of my Lori Holtz, we wouldn't be in the spot we're in. Just kidding. But check and see if it's something that you're even interested in. 4, decide who it would be for, or if it's a scrappy, or kind of have your theme or whatever right up front, so you kind of have a purpose, and that usually helps you finish. Give yourself your own checklist. Like, sometimes the quilt alongs are very fast, and if you say, I can't do it that fast, but I could do this, like once a week I could do this instead of every day. And be specific. 6, don't freak out if you aren't on the schedule that they are on. That's fine because your life is not theirs. And feel free to jump back in at your spot, or you could skip to where they're at and see if you really want to finish it. Oh, that's twice. Sorry. Leave room. Number 7, leave room for creativity. Just because they're saying to do it a certain way, maybe you want to tweak it and do it your own way. 8, she suggests posting your progress because that helps you be motivated to finish. Whether you do that on the social media sites or like through our texting group, it's a good idea. Number 9 is follow the hashtags. You're on your own, people. I don't do that. Number 10, getting it done. So you fell behind or you didn't have enough materials or blah, blah, blah. Decide your new timeline, when you need it finished by, and what you need to do weekly or daily to get it to that point. And maybe you want to save it for next year. Maybe that will be your quilt along for the next year. Anyway, so I thought those were kind of really good. And I also was reading from an article from the Diary of a Quilter, Amy Smart, but it wasn't her article. Samantha Dorn. I hope I said it right. Anyway, 5 steps to getting your motivation back. I thought this was good. 1, you are your own boss. If it doesn't work for you, if you don't like the pattern, you don't like what it's doing, don't do it. Change it. There's nothing wrong with that. 2, celebrate that you showed up. Celebrate that you did 20 minutes a day on a project. Something like that. 3, work your system. I like this one because we all have different habits. We know this because we've sewn together enough. We can tell, right? We all do it a little differently, but you know what works for you and you know what doesn't work for you. So within that, make sure that you're getting certain things done, or making it a routine that I do 10 blocks a day, or whatever fits for you. You leave it at a certain place before you walk away from the project. And celebrate the small success. Like, you got the blocks done, great. You got it cut out, great. Celebrate the little steps of it and enjoy the process, because this is not supposed to be drudgery. This is supposed to be the thing that makes us happy. And number 5 was do a mini quilt. I know Jody's been doing some, and Sarah, we should do mini quilts maybe more often. I maybe have room on my walls for a mini quilt or 2, maybe. Anyway, so I hope that gives you some motivation, something to do, something to look forward to. Keep sewing. It's hard right now, granted, for me. So I'm trying to adjust to the new normal, which is rough. But find time. Find time. It's important to find time for you and for what you love so that you can get through some crazy, crazy hard times. So find your pattern, find your leader and ender, maybe set a timeline for it. You can do that while you're sitting with your feet propped up, but watching TV at night. I don't know what you do. Find your pattern. Let's get going with this and set up our own timeline and see if we can't get something accomplished this year while we're accomplishing more. But yeah, let me know what keeps you from getting your projects done, and I will talk to you guys later.